Hey everybody. Throughout my gardening seasons, I planted potatoes practically every year in pots and raised gardens in the ground. Sometimes I'll just drop random potatoes because maybe I'm carrying too much, or maybe I'll put something on the ground thinking I'm going to pick it up later and just never do. And a lot of times what happens is they just sort of start growing again out of nowhere, even when I don't even pay attention to them. So today I'm going to go check up on my garden and see what kind of random potato plants I got growing and kind of see if I want to pull them up or let them grow, kind of depending on what's growing around them. And so let's go to the garden and see what we can find. Now this is a pot that I was probably growing herbs in, testing it out and see how well they grow. And apparently I must have just dropped a potato in there and somebody from the family didn't see it and put soil on it and planted their own little plants in here. And what turned out is the potato just sort of grew like crazy. Of course, it's going really long, probably looking for the sun. But it's just crazy how sometimes you won't even know it could be in a pot, and potatoes will grow anywhere basically. You could basically just throw them on the ground. In this case, it was inside of a pot, and put soil on it and let something else grow. But lo and behold, the potato, like the potato does, it just starts growing, and man, that's pretty long. And of course, here's my cat who didn't alert me to the potato, likes to take a nap, so she can do all that she wants to do. She's too cute. But of course, this is my beautiful Lucy. She's the baby in the family. Of course, cats won't notify you with that a plant is growing, so you sort of have to find it randomly. But hey, for as beautiful as this, she can just hang out and just enjoy the plants I'm growing. Now this is my brassica raised garden. I don't remember ever having potatoes over here. Maybe one popped out of my pocket. Maybe it was just dropped randomly throughout my gardening. But as you can see, they're growing through here. And these I might pull two, only because I feel like the broccoli here is going to be a large feeder. So I want them to be able to have as much nutrients as possible. But we'll see. Like anything, I always wait till the last minute to pull out of the ground. This is my blueberry garden, but a few years back it was my potato patch that apparently I did not pull up all the potatoes from, and now they're growing in my blueberry patch. I will probably pull these potatoes just because I don't want them taking nutrients from my blueberries, because it takes for me forever to grow good blueberries, so I want them to be able to get everything that they can get from the soil. But so unfortunately, maybe I'll get some tiny potatoes from here. Maybe I won't get nothing, but that's okay. I have plenty of potatoes all over the place. So hey, there's a few places that I've found potatoes just to grow randomly. Basically, you just drop them anywhere and they'll just grow almost no matter what. There's not a lot of work I've had to ever put with potatoes. I mean, you can add fertilizer or add other nutrients to help them grow a little bit more, but they will grow in just about anything. You can drop them on the ground and put hay on them. You can put them in a hole. You can put them basically anywhere, and they will just grow. And which is a good thing, but sometimes I'll just walk out in the garden and then there's a random plant. I'm like, wait, did I drop a potato there, or did I do it by accident? Did I do it on purpose and I just totally forgot that I planted potatoes there? I try to keep track of where I put my potatoes so that way I know where they're at. But sometimes, yeah, you could just randomly in a pot in the house, or in the ground outside in a raised garden. Sometimes you just forget potatoes. I've had old potatoes that I've gotten from grocery stores, and I've thrown them in a compost bin, and then they started growing out of there. So now in those potatoes, I sort of just put them in the ground and let them grow there. Sometimes you got to realize your mistakes. But yeah, it's just sometimes you do something by accident and you learn something, and you sort of adapt it, or you can change your ways and kind of like, adapt how you want to garden. And potatoes is one of the great plants to plant because it just doesn't require a lot of work. Basically, you can put it on the ground, cover it with hay, put it in a 6-inch hole. I mean, anyway, and it'll just sort of grow. which is really nice. And I mostly do like red potatoes, gold potatoes. That sort of like they grow a certain amount and then they stop. So at least I'll know kind of where those are at. So yeah, so thank you for walking with me throughout my garden and just sort of checking on the random potatoes that I sort of just threw without care. And they care though. That's why they're growing and sort of providing me with extra food that I didn't even know. So thank you guys, and I'll check you guys out next time, and see you then.